it's Erin from littlestufflearning.com, and today I am going to share with you some fun ways that you can practice blending with your little ones, either at home or in your classroom. If you're not sure what blending is, I do have a video all about what it is and 3 different types of blending you might want to try. I will link that video down below. But blending is when you're taking the sounds of a word and you're blending them together to say or read the word. So for example, I could do this orally by saying the sounds d, a, g. What's my word? Dog. I have to blend those sounds together to read the word. I can also do this by reading on paper. So when I'm looking at the letters on the paper and I'm going sound by sound, I'm able to blend those sounds together to read the word. That's what reading is. Now, in that last video, I shared with you there are 3 different ways to blend, and I'll just briefly review them, but you can watch that video for more information. There's isolated blending when we go sound by sound. So for example, at, mat. There's final blending, and that's where we're going to blend the first 2 sounds together, and then we're going to add the last sound on. So for example, ma, mat. So I'm blending as I go. I'm blending those first 2 sounds, ma, before I add my t. And then the last one is continuous blending or successive blending. And that's when you just keep blending the whole time. It's like you're reading as you go along the word. So for example, mat. I've never taken a pause or a breath. I'm just keeping it going. Mat for the word mat. Now this continuous blending needs to be done with continuous sounds. If you're not sure what continuous sounds are, I have a video for you about that, so I will link it down below so you can hear the difference between a continuous sound and a stop sound. Okay, so now that we know the 3 different types of blending, and we know that blending is really the basis for reading, that's what we're doing when we're reading words, let's talk about some fun ways that you can incorporate blending at home or in your classroom that your kiddos are going to love. The first idea I have for you is to use your Magnatiles. I've shared this in another video, I think about heart words, but Magnatiles are really cool because you can actually write on them with a dry erase marker. So if I wanted my little ones to read the word cat, I can write on here all of my sounds, and it just comes right off. It's awesome. And then I can have them do any of the types of blending that I shared with you earlier, whichever one works for them. So we would say k, a, cat, cat. There you go. It's much easier when it's on a table. But they can actually click these Magnatiles together to read the word. So this is the first fun way to practice. You can also have your little ones make their own words to read. So they might be real word or nonsense words. And you can use letter cubes or letter die for that. So I got these from the Target Dollar Spot a couple of years ago. But they're really great because they're just cubes, dice, that I can have my little ones roll and then a letter is going to come up. And what I like about it is that the vowels are actually on their own cube. So they can definitely roll a consonant, roll a vowel, and then roll a consonant. They can write that down on their paper, or they can just put these together. Let's say they roll this, and then they can practice blending. So, r, x, rux. And the nice part is these are a lot going to be nonsense words, and that's really helpful for them, especially if they have some sort of a nonsense test at school. If you're in the classroom, if you want to prepare them for that, or if you're at home and you want to prepare them for that, those nonsense words can be really tricky. So something like this is great because this is definitely a nonsense word, but it's one that they can read. So if you have something like this, you could use those. I know not everybody does. I also have one of these. This is from the dollar store, and it's a dry erase surface. So what you can do, whatever letters you're working on, you can actually just have one for consonants and one for vowels, but you would just write the letters on here. And just like before, they can roll the word. So let's say they roll an S. Let's say you have another die that has an I on it. and then they roll a T, and then they could blend that together. Sit, sit. So it's fun when they get to actually pick the word too. Of course, you have to be a little careful with this because not all words are going to be maybe the best for them to practice, but it is fun when they get to be part of the creation of the word. This next idea is fun. If you have leftover egg cartons at your house, what you can do is you can actually cut them apart into 3-letter words, 4-letter words, 5-letter words, whatever you're working on. And then you can use letter tiles. And so if you were to put these letter tiles, you could either do it on the back. This will work much better if it's on a table, and place them right there, or on the inside. And you can put the letters in there or have them choose the letters to put in there, and then they can practice blending. I don't know if you can see that. D-a-g, dog. So that's another fun way to do it, because using egg cartons, totally novel, just something different and new. They could also write on these if you wanted, if you had a marker that they could write on, but just something that's a little bit unique and different. Sometimes that's all they need, a little spark, a little something different. Another fun way to practice blending is to use a whiteboard and Post-it notes. And you can do this in 2 different ways. The first one, you can have the Post-it notes go right on here. So I've written the letters on here. They can touch and say the sounds. I, him. Or you can do that continuous blending. Him, him. Or instead of having the letters written on the Post-it notes, you can have them hiding under the Post-it notes, and then you can reveal them, always going from left to right. So you can reveal a, ma, t, mat. So that is a way to have them be revealed. And of course, if you have magnetic whiteboards with magnetic letters, which I do, I love to use this as well. So I could just put these right on here. D, a, da, g, dog. So I could use those as well. I got this next idea from an Instagram teacher that I follow. Her account is Snippets by Sarah, and I will link it down below. And she shares lots of great ideas. In fact, there's a wonderful community over on Instagram, if you haven't been over there recently, for teachers sharing ideas related to the science of reading and how to teach our kids to read. So this one's from Sarah. So you get an envelope. I just cut the side off, and what I did was I put a letter strip in here. And so you can pull it out and reveal the letters one at a time and have your little one blend them. So we would go ah, ma, mom. There we go. And that is revealed out of our envelope. Now, once your little ones get the hang of this blending, we're going to want them to be doing it a lot with real words and with nonsense words. So I do have some free letters over on my website that you can download. It's littleslovelearning.com. And these free letters can be used to make a blending board, but I like to call it a blending ruler. So what I've done is I've printed out the letters. The consonants are white and the vowels are yellow. I got a ruler that has these holes in it, and I put these binder clips on it. So now my little ones can create their own words and practice blending a variety of words. All they have to do is flip whichever letter they want, and it's going to make different words. Now, hopefully, no inappropriate words come up. Sometimes inappropriate words do come up, so we have to be careful with those. But this is really great. If you're a parent, you could make one of these, stick it in your bag, keep it in the car, have your little one practice blending when you're out and about. If you're a teacher, these are pretty easy to store, or you can also take those same letters and put them inside of a notebook. But it's the same idea. You would have the consonants and the vowels, and then you would flip, and you would have them make different words. Now you'll notice the Q and U are together because together they say qu. But that's a whole nother video. But these are really great for blending, and they are free to download. You can go to littleslovelearning.com and you can get your own copy. Now, I've shared with you lots of fun ways to practice blending to read the words, but of course, the opposite of blending is segmenting, pulling the sounds apart in the words. And we want to practice that as well because we really want blending and segmenting to complement each other. And so I have this sound map that I made for my students, but you can find free ones online, or if you head to Teachers Pay Teachers, there's lots of different sound maps. But these are really important because not only do you want your little ones to be reading the words to blend them, you also want them to be able to segment the sounds apart and then read them back to themselves. So let's say, for example, I wanted my little one to spell the word mom. I would say mom, and what I would have them do on this one specifically is pound mom, and then tap the sounds, mom. Then I would want them to match up the sounds with the letters that spell them. So they would do their first sound, our second sound, our last sound, So now they have created their word and they can practice blending. Or they can go like this. Mom, for that continuous. Mom. So don't forget, blending is so important, and I think we should focus on that, but don't forget the segmenting. They need to be able to know how to spell these words. So oftentimes, kids are able to read more words than they can spell. Spelling is a different task, much more difficult, and so we want to make sure that we are incorporating this segmenting work and this spelling work as much as we can, even with pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, of course. We want to make sure that we're incorporating that segmentation as well. So there you go. I hope these ideas were helpful for you. Maybe you came across a few new ideas you want to try either at home or in your classroom. If you watched this video and you thought, whoa, my child is not ready for any of that, this would be way over their heads, that's okay. Take a step back, and before you work on any blending with letters that they can see, work on that phonemic awareness. And you can do that in fun ways too. You can get poppers that help work on phonemic awareness. You can use Play-Doh to work on phonemic awareness. I have a whole video with fun ideas for you that I will link down below. But anything that you can do orally to practice all of that blending orally first is going to help them when they get to the step where they need to actually look at the letters and blend those together. So just take it one step at a time. Don't stress, there's no rush. They've got this, just one step at a time, and they're gonna do great. If you have any questions about any of this, you can comment down below. I'd also love to hear if you have any other fun activities or ideas you use for blending. Please leave them down below so lots of teachers and parents can benefit from your ideas as well. Until our next video, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.